く
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, back to the channel. It is I, and I am him, Johnny Starr, back with another review. A review for an anime that is one of a kind. The classic that combines the world of Edo Japan and modern hip-hop. The sword-slashing, freestyling, samurai hunting adventure, Samurai Champloo. Not too long ago, I covered Space Dandy here on the channel. One of my favorite animes of all time, and a special work of Shinichiro Watanabe. He's an amazing director, and I think it's about time for us to start covering some of his other works. This time around, we're gonna look at something that I would consider a hood classic. Samurai Champloo was released on May 20th of 2004. Produced by Studio Manglobe, the studio responsible for some really great shows like Michiko and Hatchin, Dead Man Wonderland, Gangsta, but sadly the studio filed for bankruptcy in 2015, so they're no longer around. Champloo, of course, was directed by Shinichiro Watanabe, the man behind Cowboy Bebop and Space Dandy. Our tale takes place in an alternate version of Edo Japan, a very traditional period with samurai galore. Our three protagonists, Mugen, Jin, and Fu, fatefully meet in a small town after some crazy events go down. You know, like cutting down samurai, breaking fingers, burning down a shop, and escaping an execution by using fireworks. Normal anime shit. Fu hires Mugen and Jin to accompany her on a quest to find a samurai that smells of sunflowers, and so their journey begins. They will travel across the land, run into all sorts of trouble, from beatboxing swordsmen, priests, slavers, foreigners, and the undead, as well as lack of food. There's a clear goal that carries our characters through their journey, but the structure of this show is very episodic, and at times disjointed, but in a good way. Different episodes will follow different storylines within the world of Samurai Champloo, allowing more time to flesh out our cast. And speaking of, Mugen, the ruffian. He's a freedom-loving, indecent, and wild swordsman who loves nothing more than eating, sleeping, and women. Also the chance to test out his strength against strong opponents. He can be a bit of a mystery at times, so watching to see what he'll do next is always fun.
When someone talks to me like that, it kind of pisses me off and I want to resist even more.
Shinichiro wanted to build the story originally around Mugen himself. After making someone like Spike and Cowboy Bebop that focused heavily on jazz, Shinichiro wanted to make someone who was a little more free-flowing and wild, in a setting that was completely different from his previous work. At the time of Samurai Champloo's creation, he was in the middle of making the Cowboy Bebop movie. He kind of wanted to make something that was a little more fun since Cowboy Bebop can be very serious with its storytelling. And so, Mugen was created. Jin, the Ronin. He is a disgraced skilled swordsman with nowhere to go. Having killed his master, he is constantly on the run and has many enemies after him. Jin is very perceptive, calm, and kind-hearted. Pretty much the polar opposite of Mugen, and that's kind of why they work so well together. And also why they want to kill each other all the time. Lastly, we have Fu, a simple 15-year-old girl on the search for a samurai who smells of sunflowers. She is naive, easy to subdue, and can be a bit naggy at times, but she is very kind with a strong sense of justice. She's somewhat of the grounding force for our two main characters, Mugen and Jin. When these two guys want to go off and do something dumb, Fu is always there to bring them back to form. How these three unlikely characters bounce off of each other on their adventures makes for some fun and compelling storytelling. Some of my favorite episodes are ones where they split up, and you watch as their decisions will lead them back together again. As par for the course, if you're looking for some good action, you will definitely find it here. Sword swinging, ground cutting, heart pounding, old school samurai action can be found in just about every episode. With great animation and storyboarding, Samurai Champloo produces some of the best sword fights in anime history. You'll see Mugen with his unorthodox fighting style and Jin's mastery of Kenjutsu. They'll go toe-to-toe with powerful samurai, ninja, assassins, and come out on top, most of the time. Champloo does a great job in crafting well-written side stories, and with that comes well-written supporting characters. Sprinkled all throughout this series are colorful, complex characters our protagonists will encounter, through either a fight to the death, comedic relief, or meaningful thought-provoking words of wisdom.
Because freedom cannot be forced into existence, nor can it be won through painful struggle. Freedom cannot be bought or sold. It has nothing to do with one's social status. One's profession is of no consequence. In order for you to accept yourself as you are and live with your soul at peace, you must simply teach yourself to let it be. Only then will you discover freedom.
Samurai Champloo has many strengths, but the one that sticks out to me the most is the music. You can't talk about Champloo without mentioning the complete track list of amazing songs and beats created for this show. Shinichiro likes to create his stories with music in mind. It just so happened in the very early stages of coming up with the premise of Champloo, hip-hop was in heavy rotation for him. So he decided to assemble a team of talented Japanese hip-hop producers and rappers to help create the music for this series, and goddamn did they make some serious bangers. Of course, the standout being the late prolific producer Nujabes, who is said to have mainly worked in Japan before working on Champloo, but received high praises for his contributions and was sought out heavily afterwards, which Shinichiro remarked that Nujabes seemed to be very happy about this. The final episode of Samurai Champloo aired March 9th of 2006, with an ending that was perfect in my opinion, albeit bittersweet, which brings me to the main thing that I love about this show. I think there are many things you can walk away with completing this series as to its deeper meaning and message that it's attempting to impart on you as the viewer. Whether it be following your own path, letting go of your past, fighting for something greater than yourself, or the importance of learning how to read and write.
It's a life or death struggle using letters.
Did you say letters?
This show feels like it has a lot to say. But once you finish it, it feels like the end of the road, like there's nothing left to say. But perhaps that was the point. All of the lessons we learned up till now, and how they may have changed our characters, the people we met along the way, and the stories we now have to carry on to the next adventure. The age-old, it was never about the destination, but about the journey. To me, this was the real point of the series. To enjoy the samurai hunting adventure, to grow and learn as we go along. And when we finally reach our destination, it's time for the next journey, a new chapter to open. I love anime that takes these simple concepts and presents them in a way that's unique to itself. Samurai Champloo does that for me. Samurai Champloo is an amazing anime. A great story with beautiful music, well-written characters, and tons of action. The perfect cocktail of all the shit that I love in my anime. I just love this show. Me and my friends can spend all day talking about it, and I hope after you watch this video, you go experience it for yourself. 10 out of 10 to the anime about samurai, revenge, freedom, and Nookie.
Sons of bitches! I want my Nookie!
さよなら。